Hi, I'm Claire Tompkins, the Clutter Coach, and this is the Organize Your Life podcast. I am passionate about organizing because it makes my clients' lives so much easier, more relaxed, and with more time to spend the way that they want to. In every podcast, I will talk about an organizing, decluttering, or time management concept. I'll tell you why it's important. I'll also include an action step at the end so you can start practicing right away. My specialty is chunking down these big topics so they aren't overwhelming. That's the concept for the podcast, too. I'm now done with the material from my first book, 52 Simple Ways to Get Organized. You can buy my books on my website or on Amazon. You can also view the podcast show notes on my blog. I do this podcast to connect with people, and that means you. Let me know that you're listening. Shoot me an email at claire@cluttercoach.net. I would really love to hear from you. Okay, here we go. Podcast 97, this one, is about sorting. Back in podcast 61, I talked about general sorting principles. I find sorting to be easy and even kind of fun. Do you remember that Sesame Street recurring sketch called One of These Things? In the sketch, there were 4 objects, and one of them was different from the others. It's the preschooler's job to figure out which one is different. In one sketch, Big Bird has 4 bowls of birdseed that are alike in shape, color, and contents, but one is much bigger. But sometimes the other 3 weren't all alike. But at least 2 of the objects had a feature in common, so they couldn't be the one that wasn't like the others. And that made you think about how to categorize things. You had to think about characteristics such as shape, color, size, and also about purpose and use. I worked with a client and her young daughter the other day organizing the stuffies, of which there were quite a few. We started with type of animal, and that worked fine for the bears and the dogs, but then we had too many one-offs, a dragon, a snake, a giraffe. So we talked about the other qualities they had, fur or no fur, how many legs, solid colored or patterned, and how long is the tail. The point is, there are many ways to categorize almost anything. Your first concept might not work out, but you need to start somewhere or else you won't get anywhere. So how can you apply this to non-stuffed animal situations? A great spot to apply it is to a box of miscellany or a junk drawer. The reason those things are so hard to sort is that there are too many things to consider at once. I've talked before about how decision-making gets harder the more choices you have. And this is very similar. Next time you have a bunch of miscellaneous items to sort, try this. Scan through it and see if any categories surface for you. Recently, I went through such a box with a client, and the first category I spotted was pens. We collected all the pens and put them in a pile. Then what I noticed was loose change. We got all that out into a pile. After that, it was electronic items, chargers, cords, memory sticks, small things. That was another pile, and so on. Every time we removed a category of stuff, there was less to sort through, obviously. Having the quantity reduced meant less sorting work. But there was also less comparing to do, because there were fewer things to compare. When you sort and compare, you look at an item and you run it through a series of filters in your mind. It mostly happens so quickly that you aren't aware of it. Sorting out the coins, for example, from the rest of the stuff. Once you sight a quarter in the box, your mind attunes to things like round, metal, flat, raised printing. And your eyes seek out other objects with those qualities. You don't consciously do it. You already have a mental image of what a coin looks like. This is pattern recognition. People naturally seek out patterns around them. But there's more to organizing than visual patterns. We need to consider those uses and purposes as well. And they vary. Once you identify those metal things as coins, the next step is to ask yourself where they go, which is a further characterization. They might go right into your pocket. They might go into your son's piggy bank, or your piggy bank. They might go into a cup where you keep the laundromat change. This may seem self-evident, but when I search online for articles about sorting, mostly what I come up with is clever and adorable containers to put things into. People love containers, I notice. People who hate organizing love containers. It's kind of funny. You can have all your stuff carefully put away into fabulous containers, but be horribly disorganized. That's because things go into the containers based on visual criteria like their size or color, or because there are things that need to be off the table and they end up in whatever container is closest. Don't succumb to this. Visual categorizing is most helpful when you're going through a big bunch of stuff. On a daily basis, the stuff you encounter needs to be sorted by its use and purpose. You don't need to categorize it because you're not comparing it to something else. So here's what you can do now. Find a surface, like a dining table or kitchen counter, that has a small collection of items that don't belong there. As you scan them, see if you can quickly identify where each thing goes, what its purpose and use is. Hey, thanks for listening. I'm Claire Tompkins, the Clutter Coach. If you like the show, I'd love it if you'd leave a rating and review in iTunes. You can subscribe, too, so the podcast will be ready and waiting for you to listen to. You'll find the show notes on my blog at www.cluttercoach.net, and you can check out my store to find books I've written and a whole bunch of other stuff. If you're a fan of the show, you can become a patron on patreon.com for as little as $1 a month. You can find my page by going to the Patreon website, that's Patreon, and searching on Clutter Coach. I'll still post the podcast free of charge, but I've got some cool rewards for folks who want to help me make the show even better. Come back next week for a new podcast.